All right, it's BJ Balls Out Comedy Podcast with a special guest on today, Mr. Paul Sharplin. How you going?
How you going? Yeah, good, Benny. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Very pleased.
Very happy you could make it, man.
No problems, Geordie. How you been?
Good, man. Been looking forward to this. Obviously wish gigs were happening, but apart from that, not too bad. How about yourself? What have you been doing?
Everything I would do except for gig and watch sport.
Fair enough.
Which is what I like to do 95% of the time. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is.
A lot of downtime for you. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit. I'm just actually learning how to sleep again.
I was actually chatting to a comic friend of mine the other day. It's like, I've been going to bed at like 7, 8 o'clock. It's like, what the fuck's that?
Exactly.
Yeah, I hope you're ready. Everyone's going to be asking for early spots when we come back. So everyone will be on a different sleep cycle.
They always do anyway.
Can
I have a spot at 7:30 because I've got another gig at 10? Get fucked. Fuck.
It's like, how long have we had this booked in? Like,
yeah, exactly.
You knew a few months ago you had this gig booked, and now you're telling me you want fucking 7:30 because you booked something else. Yeah, go fuck yourself. I agree.
And then turn up at 10 to 8.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. Half the comics in Melbourne get trains everywhere. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's because they're not adults and don't have cars like us.
Older people.
Yeah.
No,
Geordie's got a car.
I've got a car. I'm one of the only comics I know who lives out of home and by myself.
Yeah. And you live on the other side of bloody town too, so you're doing well.
It's my own doing.
Exactly. I don't live with my parents, Geordie.
It's probably a good thing about that. With your fucking material, you'd probably be up for some sort of charge.
Yeah, they give me most of it, so it's all right.
For those of you tuning in, this is Paul Sharplin. He runs Guerrilla Comedy. We've mentioned Guerrilla Comedy comes up at least every second or third episode. We like to ask people where they start and where they like gigging, and Guerrilla comes up quite a bit. So we're putting a name to a face here. If you
that's good.
Didn't know who this was.
Yep,
this George Bush looking motherfucker. Yeah,
I am Mr. Guerrilla.
Funny story. Guerrilla was named after one of Paul's sex moves.
Yeah, exactly.
Might be too early in the evening to jump into that one, but that's all right.
I just wish I could remember it. That's all.
It's probably written in some old scripts or somewhere.
Yeah, it is.
So how long have you been running? How long have you been running Guerrilla?
I've been running Guerrilla June to June, probably 2 years.
Okay.
And probably about a bit over a year by myself. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty good. The room's been going for a little while. It's probably been going for about 4 years, I think, because Matt Young started it, and then he handed it off to Hamish, who handed it off to me.
Okay.
And so finally, it's a real comedy room.
Shout out to those boys.
I'm pretty sure Hamish doesn't like me, so I doubt he'll ever see any of our podcasts. So that's fine. But how do you mean it's turned into a comedy room?
Oh no, I'm only joking. It's always been a comedy room. I just taking the piss. You know how it is. Fucking banter. It's the only reason I'm in comedy, for the banter. And the group chats. The group chats. I love the group chats. As soon as somebody drops out of the group chat, I'm onto them with a DM. Why did you drop out of the fucking group chat? Who said shit, man? Who's not putting you on? You know?
So when are you starting TikTok? When are you going to start the TikTok?
Oh, don't do that.
Isn't that like a little mint that you eat? I eat them all the time. I like them. They're nice. I like the I like the orange ones.
Oh god.
So that's a no for TikTok. Good.
Yes.
All the world needs is another fucking comic on TikTok.
Oh.
So what have you got planned? I saw there was a date of July 1, I think it was.
July 1,
Yes.
that's right. I
What's
had
the idea?
I had a slight bit of information that the casino was planning to reopen on July the 1st, with social distancing, of course.
Yeah.
So I thought if they can open, I can open.
Yeah.
And so I had a three-pronged plan. If it's still down to 10 people in a group, but that's fair enough. You know, that 10 can sit nice in there. I think we can only sit 15 to 18 with social distancing anyway.
Yeah.
But I was sort of counting on the fact that it was going to be a bit more relaxed by July the 1st. And so hopefully the small restaurants and that, maybe the pubs and that won't be open. This isn't a pub, it's just a small restaurant. And so if we have an adequate amount of people in there, 10 to 15, all with social distancing, 4, maybe 5 comics, and they don't hang around, they just hang around outside with social distancing again. And I was also thinking that if the government is so keen to get us to use that app, and they get the privacy aspects correct by then, I can promote it as an app gig, so as that all the performers, all the staff, and all the patrons have the app, and therefore there's no chance of transmission in that room because everyone has the app, nobody's tested, nobody's got a warning, and that's what they want, isn't it? Use the app. So it's a three-pronged thing. And so provided we could get that people to agree to that, you know, I mean, their views on privacy and all that sort of shit, I don't really care. If they want to come to the show, and that's what we need to get the show going, and that's what we'll do. But
that's good.
Excellent.
Obviously, things can change between now and then. You know, we could have 15 cross-dressing footballers break isolation before then, and we're all back to square one.
That's very specific, yeah.
They're a huge chance.
It is.
They've been locked down for a long time now, these footballers. Fuck, man, things are going to happen when they let them out. I mean, they hardly manage to contain themselves in a normal cycle of time, let alone being locked down for 3 months. It's going to be mate.
Yeah, that's a very solid point. Yeah. No,
So
that'd be good.
Yeah, that's how we plan to do it. And I'll just keep monitoring what the government tells us we're allowed to do, and I'll get a little bit of permission from the local authorities. I'll talk to Jay, and we will do our best to run a show. I don't expect much to start with, but at least something to get us, you know, back in the swing a little bit.
Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. See how we go.
Oh, brilliant. Now, have you been writing much with the downtime, or?
Yeah.
We're not going to ask you to do it. I'm just curious. You don't have to debut it here or anything. But...
I'm too scared to say it because I know you don't like one-liners, Geordie. So I've probably written 30, maybe 35 one-liners since we've been in isolation, but most of them are about isolation.
I don't. Hang on. Let me clear the slate here. I don't like one-liners when they're desperately obvious.
Oh yeah.
If they're funny, they're funny. But
no comedy that was obvious was ever funny.
Exactly. Yeah, but there's a lot of it going around. Hence why.
Oh, fuck yeah. There's a lot of fucking ning-nongs out there. I'll tell you that right now.
The fuck's a ning-nong? You allowed to say that anymore?
Yeah, ning-nong. Ning-nong's all right. I didn't say Eddie Booth.
We don't condone ning-nong on B&J.
You'll fucking take ning-nong. I know I'll fucking do that.
I've never heard that before.
You haven't? Man.
No.
He's just a silly person. That's all it is. A ning-nong's just a silly person. Yeah.
Anyone can tell me otherwise, please write in.
Where did you start, Paul? When did you start comedy, and when, where, and why, and how?
Oh, when, where, why, and how?
Yes.
Why is I think I've probably always been a comedian, but never told anyone. I've always loved comedy. Like we love comedy. I love making people laugh. Making people laugh has always been fun. And when you're a kid at school and you're not the best fighter or you're the best runner or whatever, you know, making people laugh is something you can go to as a bit of a, you know, look at me, I've got something. and I moved to Melbourne, and I watched a lot of comedy in the first year, and I thought most of it was shit. And I thought, fuck, I could probably do better than that. I think I could possibly do better than that. And so I found the Comics Lounge are running a little workshop on a Tuesday night. And used to have guests, instructors there, or just talking to people about, you know, comedy, making up jokes, sets, audiences, gigs, all that sort of shit. Like Steve Hughes, Chris Brainhouse, Jeff Green, all those people. And so, and I had like fucking 25 minutes written, solid 25 minutes. I thought, this is it. I said, I tell you, I'm going to get up there on Tuesday and do 2 minutes. I'll be back up on Friday. I'll be on the plane to LA on Monday and with the cover of Time magazine. Is this the world's funniest man by the next fucking Friday? It was all sorted straight out. But apparently you have to be good at it. Anyway.
How'd you go straight off the bat?
Oh, fucking shocking. I was so scared. I couldn't believe how scared I was. And so I did that. That was early 2016. I did 2 minutes and never even thought about it for another 10 months.
Oh, wow.
Just went, no, that's no good. I can't do that. And so, but then I thought more and more and more, and I was just trying to do too much. I created a whole character that needed me to act out this whole character, and I hadn't even found out who I was to be funny, let alone portraying somebody else that might be funny. So I came back to Melbourne because I went back to Queensland for a little while, and then the bug got me again. So I went back to the Comics Lounge, and this time listened more than I wanted to talk, and learned a little bit of how to do it basically, and got up at the Imperial on their Wednesday night a couple of times. And my first gig was actually Raw. Oh. January 21st, 2017. It was a disaster. I told a joke about Pedo the Clown. It didn't go down very well. And people groaned in the audience. And I thought, oh, yeah, that's good. I've got a groan, I've got something, you know. But I got my 5 minutes done. And I did get a couple of laughs. And comedy's a lot like golf. You only need one good shot and you're back next week. And comedy's the same. You only need one good laugh and I can do this. I'm back next week. I had 4 minutes and 45 seconds of crap, but I got a really good laugh for 15 seconds. That'll do me. I'm coming back. And yeah, so that's basically it. And then I developed a few techniques to get myself over the nerves and then just started to write and perform and listen and learn, that they go hand in hand.
What kind of techniques was it? You know, you had to drink before or couldn't eat before or something like that, or?
No, I just tell myself that for the next 5 minutes I can be anyone I fucking want to in this whole world. They don't know me. They have no idea who I'm from, where I'm from, what I've done in the past, my good deeds, my bad deeds. They know nothing. So they have no preconception of me. So why should I have a preconception of what they're seeing? And so for the next 5 minutes, I can be anyone I want, anything I want, and say anything I want. And they don't know any fucking different. And so in that, I found freedom. It wasn't restricted. That was total freedom.
That's really cool. That's very good.
And it worked. I still do it now. I still get up and I look at the audience and they don't know me. They're not going to care whether I bomb or smash, to be honest. I mean, they'd rather I smashed than I bombed. But if I do bomb, they're not going to be eating their Wheaties next morning going, fuck that comedian. Shit, I fucking hate him, you know. Yeah. They've forgotten about it. So I you know, there's not a lot of pressure really. There is, but there isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a very healthy way of looking at it.
I mean, you're gonna, and it's like a good food anyway. A good feed. If you have a good gig, that feeling is right there when you're doing it, and just after it, and for the next half an hour. But 2 hours after that, it might as well have been last month. You're looking for your next one. You know, it's like a good feed.
That's very, very wise words.
Well, thank you, young Jordan.
No, well, we like to get in, you know, get into, you know, the nitty gritty of it, like how do people go about things, and that's definitely a different perspective from what we've heard so far. So it's good.
Well, it's such an individual thing. I mean, it really is. It's up to each individual. But I think the main things you have to be aware of is self-awareness. You have to be aware when you're not doing so well and highly critical of yourself without being depressive and negative and putting yourself on the other side. You can be critical and still positive in almost all situations in life. And you have to learn and listen as well. You know, you have to listen. And another really important thing is to know what the crowd's looking at. A lot of comedians walk out onto the stage and want to look at the crowd and they have a vision of what the crowd sees, but it's not the truth. You need to know exactly what that crowd's looking at so you can respond to it, because they'll make up their mind on you in the first 15 seconds, first 5 seconds. As soon as you walk out, they'll have a preconception of what you are and who you are and what you're going to do. And you need to be aware of that so you can either work with it or work against it. You know, and if it's going to be a negative, if you feel that your appearance on the stage is going to drive audiences in negativity, then you need to deal with that straight away. First 5 seconds, bang. You know, if you walk out on stage, and I'll give you 2 examples. There's me. I walk out. I know what they're looking at straight away. Looking at an older guy, slightly seriously looking guy. So I need to get a gag away within that first 5 to 10 seconds to take that preconception away from them. All right, this is going to be fun. You know, it's not serious. He's not the grandfather or the headmaster or whatever. So I need to take that away. And boom. Look at young Hugh Robertson. He looks nice straight away. As soon as he walks out, that's appealing. The crowd are happy. Yeah, look at that. Nice looking young man, you know, and happy look on his face and everything. And so they're already with it. It's up to him to take that and run with it. Yeah. But you need to know that before you go on the stage. You need to know that. You can't walk out on the stage and think, I'm fucking whoever, you know, top superstar, and the crowd are thinking, look at this dickhead, well, you're gone straight away.
Now that you're saying it, I've seen a bit of it.
Yeah. They're just going to know, and it's self-awareness, and that comes back to intelligence in a lot of ways as well, you know, and I've found that the best comedians I've ever met are also some of the smartest people I've ever met, which is not coincidental.
Agreed. No, agreed. Yeah. Do you think there's something missing when someone comes in, you know, blows in for their 10 minutes and then fucks off? Do you reckon that can add to the lack of self-awareness? Like, you didn't see how anyone went after you or before you, so you've got you got nothing to gauge off it.
A little bit, for sure. I think because there's also that the other school, you know, you need to gig as much as you can. Gig, and I get that. And the more you gig, the better you get. That there's no doubt whatsoever. You know, an average comedian can be a high quality average comedian after 1,000 gigs. You know, but unless he does the 1,000 gigs, he's not going to do it. But he's never going to be a great comedian because he didn't have it to start with. Wouldn't matter if you did 10,000 gigs. Yeah. You know, and if you want to do 3 or 4 gigs a night, if you think that's going to improve your art and improve your performance, well then, well and good. But I personally would think that to go to the gig a little bit early, talk to people, talk to the room, run and get a feel of the room, do your set, watch a couple of other comics, you know, give a bit of support, have a bit of a chat. What did you think of that? What did you think of this? I didn't think that was very good. You could probably do this. I think that's going to teach you more than trying to squeeze 4 gigs in one night. You spend most of that night worrying about parking, trams, time, all this sort of thing, you know, rather than actually what you're intending to do, make people laugh.
Yeah, I don't know how people can enjoy it. It's fucking stressful.
Well, it's up to the individual. You know, and somebody get a pump out of it. Yeah, beauty, you know, I've got 4 gigs away tonight. And they're happy with it. The most I've ever done in one night is 3. And I felt I really didn't enjoy. I enjoyed one of them because it went really well. But the other 2, I didn't really enjoy at all. You know, occasionally I might do 2. If I have a crap gig to start with, I might look for a second gig, try and redeem myself. But if my first gig of the night's been a great gig, I actually don't want to do another gig because I want to rest on those laurels for the rest of the evening, enjoy that feeling of getting a good set away, you know, hang around the venue, get some pats on the back. It's all part of the why you're doing it, you know, you want affirmation.
Yeah. No, very good. What How do you go about writing? I know your parents were a big influence, and don't give me those eyebrows. I can't act on it. Can you wait till things are back to normal and then you give me that fucking? How do you go about writing? Do you bounce ideas off anyone, or
Not
you
really.
just know when something's right? Yeah.
I've got a fairly inherent knowledge of what's funny and what's not, and I think I've learned how to write with less words. I've learned a bit of the actual technique of writing jokes, rules of three, deception, surprise, all those sorts of things. But the ideas of the jokes just basically come to me, you know.
Yep.
Like I'm working on one at the moment, which I don't know whether I'll ever get off, but it was like I was sitting here talking to you, and all of a sudden these robbers came in, like house invaders, you know. I couldn't believe it. So I went and hid the cash and everything like that. And they still called me. I said, all right, give me your money. So I gave them my cards. And I said, you got any other cash? I said, no, I don't. I said, what about iPads? I said, no, I don't know that. And I said, why the fuck are you robbing me? There's fucking thousands of Chinese people living in this suburb.
I bet Benny would like that one.
I like that one.
Yeah. And see, the trouble with that joke, the only way that would work is if the crowd was inherently racist. And they might not want to admit that they're inherently racist by laughing.
Yeah.
But for me, it's a dig on society that they're spitting on Chinese people, and they're you know, just because they're Chinese, obviously they've created this virus thing, which is just ridiculous. If anything, it's only the government's fault, not the people that live there. Same as in any situation, you know.
Yeah.
But and so that just came to me just as a thought, you know. You're probably better off robbing Chinese people than me, because
So it's always the Chinese. But anyway, we'll move on.
You've just gotten Benny on his favourite topic.
Yeah. Jokes come to me. I'll get a line every now and again. Somebody will give me a line, you know, and I'll work on that. I say, oh, fuck, that was a good line. I'm going to turn that into a bit.
Yep.
You know, I'll see something and turn that into a bit. I'll hear something, I'll turn that into a bit. Like I came home one night and there was some strange shopping on the table, and I said to the wife, you've been to Woolies? And she said, yes. And I said, well, we're at fucking Cole's house. You realise that, don't you? And everybody laughed. And I thought, fuck, I found a bit. And straight away, that's a great little bit, you know.
Yeah, you were telling me about that when we were on the way to Warrnambool.
I did it for the first time at Warrnambool, and it smashed. I was really fucking happy with it. Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah, I've seen you do that a couple of times since, and it goes well.
Yeah. If you know something's funny, inherently usually it is, but sometimes it takes you a little while to convince your audience that it's funny, and that's where the honing and the reworking and the changing it around and mixing this up, change this word, move that bit to a different part of the set maybe. Maybe the bit you did before didn't enhance that bit, so it needs to be with another bit to make it even funnier. And so you've got to keep working those things around, you know. That's what gigging's all about.
Yeah, it's all trial and error.
Yeah, until the point that you get to the really good gig, and that's why you did those 50 gigs, because then you're at the good gig with a good paying crowd, and you want all your stuff to fucking work, and because you've worked hard on all your stuff, you can bring out your best in that situation.
Got to work hard for it.
Yeah.
What plans have you got for Guerrilla this year? Are you listening to music while we're talking? Is that why you keep dancing? Or?
No. I'm just being a little bit active. I don't want to get accused of being lethargic or fucking down or anything like that. You know. Look at that cunt. He was up. He was fucking up. Look at him go. No, I'm listening to you actually. But what did you ask me about Guerrilla?
What's your plans? I mean, the year kind of didn't really start that well for everyone. But what have you got planned this year for Guerrilla?
Oh, just to keep it going for this year, just for the next 6 months, just to make sure we've still got a club beginning next year that we can run and improve upon. I think it's going to take a little while for their audiences to come back. I mean, they'll be hanging to hear a joke, but whether they want to sit with 20 other sweaty people to hear it is another matter altogether. And so there's going to be a bit of balance and a bit of reintroduction, and we're going to have to possibly try and do our best stuff every time we can for the role, rather than just trying all sorts of shit. Just to give the confidence back to the audiences that we're out there doing it. But just generally, just run the show. I want to get a soundboard eventually, and incorporate a bit more music into the situation. And I would like to. This is just a thought I had, and I don't know whether it would work or not. I'm unsure. I'd like to have a musical interlude, like at the half time, like if we have a break, just one dude with the guitar singing the song, one of us, like an open micer or something, you know, somebody that just got a bit of ability, like I can't remember his name. Facebook. Jim, like Jim Martins. He plays really nice guitar.
Yeah, he does.
Sing. So just in the interlude, just while we have a break, maybe between the first bracket and the open mic or something, just put someone down there and just play a couple of songs in between, rather than run the music from upstairs, and just make that part of the show every week. So there's one musical act, just a single person or maybe a duo, acoustic. I don't want any electronics, any of the fucking bullshit, plugging stuff in, amping everything. It's a small room, you don't need it, you know. And maybe do that just to add a little bit of entertainment to the evening, because it is a show. We're running a show.
Yeah.
Give somebody an opportunity to sit down and play the guitar for a few people as well. So maybe something like that. But I don't want to stray too far away from comedy, because comedy is what it is.
Yeah, you don't need musical comedy up there.
Oh, I don't want musical comedy. Fuck. It scare me like that, man. Fucking hell.
What are your thoughts on musical comedy?
I personally am not a huge fan of it. Okay, but I do know a couple of very good musical comedians. Grant Busey is one. I think Stewie Walker is very good for what he does. I think Andy Maraudis is very good for it as he does it as well. And same with Gabe Rossi. They're all very good at what they're doing, and they write good gags as well. But it's just not for me. It's not my personal choice, and it frustrates me a little bit in one way. This is sort of a bit of professional jealousy. I mean, we're telling jokes and we're getting bits away, and if we get a really good bit away, we'll get an applause break. We'll get a clap. That's almost like the highest compliment we can get, is an applause break, you know. Whereas a musical comedian gets one after every fucking song.
Yeah.
It's just a thing that they do. Oh, yeah, they give him a big clap because he just finished the song, whether it was worth it or not. Whereas we actually have to do something to get that clap.
Got to work for it a bit harder.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not my favourite thing.
All right, so you heard that. If anyone wants to whip out their guitar and tell some jokes at the same time, you can do halftime entertainment at Guerrilla from now on.
Yeah, no, I don't want fucking jokes. I wanted to play the guitar and sing a nice song.
No.
All right, what? First song off the rank. What do you want it to be?
Oh, I couldn't care less. Something for Red Hot Chili Peppers, maybe. You know, Californication, Friends. Actually, they're just songs I can play. So,
so it's a very loose criteria. It just has to be music.
Exactly, and music is a very individual thing.
Yeah,
I cannot put my musical likes onto the club, because the club doesn't deserve that. They're my personal views, and it's got nothing to do with everybody else.
You got a good taste in music. I'm only saying that because you agreed with half the shit in my iPod on a road trip. But
and I liked your stuff as well. But I've been very, very careful since the very beginning to not make Guerrilla an extension of my personality or what I want or what I think is good or what I think is funny. It's a room to put on a show. I've put on a lot of comedians that I think are shit, but I've seen them work in front of audiences that think they're great. So I think, all right, fair enough. You do a good job, I'll give you a spot. My opinion's irrelevant. You know, I just want the audience to have some fun. I know some of the audience will like what they're hearing.
Yeah.
So I'll put them on. It's the same as music. There, I just don't want Guerrilla to be a wank fest with me as the main wanker. You know, it's The room belongs to everybody. It belongs to the comedians. It belongs to the scene. I only curate it.
The head wanker.
The biggest.
You give me the head job. Give me the head job.
No, but you're pretty fair like that. I got to admit. I mean, I started coming to your room in 2018, I think it was, and just.
I thought you were a cop.
Did you?
Yeah.
No, well.
You just sit down there all quiet with your mate, just looking.
I'm gonna look. That's all you got to do. What am I going to do?
Fucking looking. He's down there again looking. Cop.
Yeah, he's a cop. These guys are going to the shitter, having a smoke, and it's like,
yeah.
Come on, guys, come over and ask the. We'll give you some real drugs. Come over this way.
Yeah.
We're the logs that have come down to Hawthorne. No, but you're pretty fair like that. I mean, you give everybody a crack, which I love. I mean, you doesn't matter.
It's up to them.
You know how shit they are. Like, hand up, yep. You know,
me too.
I've cracked that room many a time. But yeah, you talk to comedians in the sense of you sort of guide. I mean, you've talked to me a few times, and some of the stuff you say are just like, fuck, you know, this guy's cluey, he knows his shit. So it stays with me in the sense of
shit.
No, but you're a pretty good mentor. I mean, as in you sort of.
Thanks, Benny.
No, I'm being honest.
Just
because
he's old.
No, see, he's fucking. He's not that much older than me. Fuck.
How hurtful. How fucking hurtful.
Bloody millennial.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck off.
We can attack you, mate. Fucking back off.
Yeah. But I don't think there's enough of that, Benny. I don't think there's enough of that in the scene. There's not enough people willing to impart. There's heaps of people willing to take. Fucking everyone wants to take, but not many people want to give. You know, and it just might be my nature. I love to give. If I can help a young comedian with a bit of advice or a spot or whatever, so many people I've given their first spots to, and put them on the poster. I know what it's like when you're starting out. You know, that's a big thing.
So that's
your name on the poster.
That's that humbling thing about what you're saying. I mean, you're very humble in the sense of the way you run the room, the way you sort of look at the whole scene. I mean, it's not about you; it's about the comedy, which is awesome to hear. You know what I mean? Like you know, you go to some places and it's about them. If you know what I mean, the person that's running the room. You sort of sitting there going, fuck,
absolutely.
I'm not comfortable here. You know what I mean? Like, you're not welcome to be there, sort of thing. You know.
Where are you talking of, Benny?
Somewhere in Chapel Street. You been there, Paul?
There's 3 gigs in Chapel Street. Be careful, Benny.
Yeah, true. I haven't done any. I've only done only the one, and he's my podcast partner. The other 2 probably wouldn't let me in the door, so it's all good.
They'll let you in, but don't go anywhere near the fucking mic, all right?
Yeah, okay, I'll back off. I love the honesty. That's why I love Paulie.
You're exactly right, Benny.
No, but it's good to hear. I mean, and for me, that's a big thing. I mean, I've started out sort of my later years to do comedy and stuff, and it's good when you're welcome to a room and like when we'll come into the room, even though you thought I was a copper and that, you'd always say, "Oh, you getting up? Come on, mate, get up."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'd be sitting there going, "Fuck, I can't do this." You know, my mind would just be like, "No, we're right. We'll see you next week." You know, we're not going to arrest anybody, but we'll see you next week. You know?
Yeah. No, we always appreciated you being there. You know, without an audience, comedians are just idiots talking to themselves. So, you know, any form of an audience is you're grateful for. Very grateful.
Agreed.
And you're not a bad comic, Benny. I've heard you a few times. I think you should give yourself credit where it's due. Obviously, we all have room to learn and improve and everything, but what you do well.
He gets angry. That's his first gear.
Oh, I don't. Fuck. I get angry. I'm the nicest bloke out there. One thinks I'm a copper. The other one thinks I'm a racist. The other one thinks I'm a fucking... What the fuck?
It's the tattoos. Fucking scary, man. When I was growing up, it was only fucking sailors and cons that had tattoos, so that sort of stuck with me, you know.
Oh, he's definitely got traits of a sailor. Don't worry.
Sweeter.
But no, Benny's 100% right. You are quite the person to talk to, and I owe you everything, to be honest, because you gave me my first gig and you brought me down a peg when I needed it. You told me where I fucked up when I fucked up, and yeah, I'm very grateful for starting at Guerrilla and meeting you from day one. But I hope a lot of other people get that experience.
Well, I've made good friends, you know. You're a really good friend. Benny's a good friend, you know, and you don't have that much time here, to be perfectly honest. What's the point of making enemies and pushing people the wrong way? It's
agreed.
Pointless, absolutely pointless. I got told once when I was very young that not one human on this earth has the right to hurt another human on this earth, and I've run by that since my whole life.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Absolutely. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why Benny gives me so much shit.
Who does?
Benny.
I give you shit because I love you, so fuck off. I'm telling you, you're going to end up in that fucking Chrysler boot, mate.
Who's got a Chrysler?
Benny.
The copper.
Benny got a Chrysler.
The policeman drives a Chrysler.
Yeah.
You don't have a Chrysler? I thought you might have a Charger. Go Charger. Yeah, RT49. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, God. The old Charger.
One day.
One day.
What about your worst bomb, Paulie? Where's like one that sticks in your mind going, fuck?
Well, you know, fuck. Probably the worst one I ever had, but it's not totally fair, because I consider a bomb where everybody else in the card smashed and you bombed. For me, that's a bomb. If you're on a bill where everybody fucking bombed, it's hard to be considered a bomb, even though you don't feel it. I did the Exford one night, and I tell you, there was Dilruck, Ben Lomas, Joe Green, Taco, Peter Jones. Every single one of us fucking bombed. Not one fucking laugh. It was bullshit. We just couldn't believe it. The only person who got anything out of it was Wayne House, who went on at the end. That's because we were all laughing by that stage. You know, this 8-person crowd were just not fucking interested at all. And I was talking to Pete Jones. I said, where the fuck did that come from? He says, I don't know. So I did 3 gigs tonight. I'm leaving for Perth tomorrow, and I wanted to do one more to get myself up. And I fucking got that thing going on. So that was pretty bad. That was nothing. I mean, nothing. Not even a Twitter. Usually I can get a murmur or a giggle, or even if you get some half laughs through, which is probably still a bomb. It's not a total crash. Mm-hmm. But that one was bad. And the Exford can be like that. You know, I've heard that from many people, that the Exford can be tough like that. But I probably haven't had many super bombs, to be perfectly honest. What can you do? I've had some quiet ones. I've had some quiet ones for sure, but like, I don't know. I've been lucky.
Oh, that's good. Okay, what?
You go.
No, you go.
No, I just want to put one thing across. One time you told me, and I agree with you 100% now. You've said to me, it's not the audience. You know what I mean? Like, as in sometimes, you know, when you go, oh, it's fucking audience. It's not me.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that.
99% it's you.
You know, when you told me that, and I just went, fuck. You know, I actually, the whole night I was just thinking about that. I was lost like, yep, he's fucking right. You know, it's not the, you know, you sort of go, oh, it's the audience. It's not me.
Yeah.
You know,
no, never.
You know, when you told me that, it was just like that sort of opened my eyes up a little bit, and I just went, yep, he's fucking right. It's, you know, because you get in your own head going, no, it's fucking audience. It's not me. I'm fucking hilarious, you know.
Yeah.
But when you learn that part,
you can't progress with that. What you were just saying, then, Benny. It's a good thing to know early. I mean, Steve Hughes tells a great joke. He says, because he says it, you never blame the audience. It's the first rule of comedy: never blame the audience. He said. But he said I've done over 10,000 gigs, and some audiences it can't. And he's right.
Yeah.
But I always walk away from that gig thinking, what could I have done better? What could I have done to get that audience to laugh? What could I have done to do better than the other comedians that didn't get them to laugh? That audience will laugh if I'd given them what they needed to laugh.
Yep.
So in the end, 99.5% of that audience reaction is 100% dependent on you.
That I agree with now. I've looked at that.
Sometimes it's just not your night as well.
Well, and that's right, but that's you again.
Yeah,
that's you again. It wasn't the audience, that was you. It wasn't your night. I didn't do my best job. I've done back-to-back gigs one night after the other with exactly the same set, 5 minutes 47. Smashed it the first night, lukewarm the second night. And I know I've got, because I tape all my sets. I voice tape them, and I would listen to it, and I can tell the difference in my voice. I can tell the difference in my cadence, in my pace, in the modulation of the voice, and pausing, everything. I can tell the difference straight away. I know exactly why the second gig didn't go as well as the first, because I didn't do as good a job.
You must be nearly out of space on your phone then, because you gig quite a bit.
Yeah, no, I've had to delete some bad ones. Oh, I had a really bad bomb at the Vault at Yarraville one Sunday night. That was terrible. I just couldn't get anything out of them at all. Everybody else was doing okay. I got up and they just weren't fucking interested, And I bailed after about 4 minutes. I went back and was talking to Fergus. I pulled my phone out and I just deleted it straight out. And I said, that's only the second set that I've ever deleted without even listening to. I said, that's how bad that was. So I just didn't have what they wanted that night. Just didn't have what they wanted.
Nah, that'll happen. What would be a highlight for your career so far?
Besides this podcast, probably the Athenaeum gig.
Just when I thought you had some fucking credibility.
Yeah.
Pull that one out.
Probably the Athenaeum gig. I did a gig supporting Ben McCarthy with Matt O'Neill and Andrew Isles. And there was like 300 people there, and did like 2.5 minutes, and it went really, really good and got paid. So that was good.
Yeah.
I did a catfish one night and did really good there as well. And a couple of the gigs I've done at the Comics Lounge. I've done the Comics Lounge a few times, and I had a big one there once, about 350 people, and that was super satisfying. I got away with that really good, so I was super satisfied with that. I did some nice gigs in Queensland as well, all along the Gold Coast. Had a couple of nice sets down there. So the big audiences, the good, big, enthusiastic audiences, they're the gigs you remember. Absolutely.
Yeah. I forgot that was Andrew Isles hosting that one, the Athenaeum.
Yeah, he did a good job. He's good, Andrew.
Yeah, fuck yeah, he did. I didn't know him when he was up there. Like, obviously knew yourself and Matt, but yeah, I completely forgot that was him.
Yeah, that was a good gig. That was so much fun. Fair income, beautiful venue. Saturday night, getting paid. I did pretty good. I had a good set. It was just a really nice night. Yeah, so was happy with that. You want them all the time if you can, of course, but you know that's not going to happen at our level.
One day,
maybe.
Hopefully.
Whatever will be, will be.
Yeah, hello. Was that? Did you get your set filmed at Athenaeum?
Yes.
Have you got it?
Yes.
You gonna release it?
Maybe. I've given it to someone because it's hard, because the visual is very good, but the audio is crap.
Oh.
And so they can't actually pick up the laughing as much, and it's hard to tell that it was the audio is where you can't hear the laughing. And people say, yeah, fucking idiot, they weren't laughing. That's the fucking problem. But So what I did, I actually recorded that set on my phone as well in my pocket. So I've got all the laughing and everything as well as what I was saying. So I've given that recording plus the USB of the filming to someone to try and merge them together so as I can get the actual laugh track, the proper laugh track, in with the show I did, without it being obvious that was the case, because the two guys that recorded it, they did a good job filming it, but they did a very, very poor job recording the sound. They didn't plug into the PA. They didn't have remote mics or anything, you know.
Oh.
So it was a bit of a letdown there.
Has Ben McCarthy released that yet?
No. I think he's got the same problem.
Shit.
You know, it's just the sound wasn't good enough, and it all looks good, but you can't hear the audience reaction as well as you need to for a comedy show. You know, there's no point putting out your comedy show and they can't hear the audience laughing. That's ridiculous. You're just working against yourself if you did that.
Yeah, fuck. What a shame. That was such a good night.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the way it goes.
They should be able to sync
Such is life. Yeah, I think they should be able to, Benny. I'm hoping so. I mean, the recording off my phone was pretty clear and pretty loud. And so, and it all, obviously, they start at the same time, finish at the same time. So somebody that knows what they're doing, which is not me, will be able to figure that out. Yeah. Benny's probably be able to do it.
You did send them the right file, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
I hazard a guess that half the shit that's saved on your phone would be hard to explain out of context.
No, I saved nothing on my phone. I'm not a fucking idiot.
That's on his second phone. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very good.
Well, if you want me to have a look, just shoot it over and I'll have a look.
If it doesn't come back satisfactory, Benny, I will for sure, man.
Shoot it over.
No problems at all. I could tell by your setup there. I watched your podcast the other night, and when you and Geordie were in the same room, in that room that you're sitting in now, Benny, and I looked at your setup and I thought, oh yeah, Benny knows his shit.
Oh,
he's onto it.
Still learning and stuff, so picking stuff up and but you know, we're getting there. Yeah,
good. Yeah, no, it's a nice little studio, and you can smoke.
That's what this is from a cop's wage, as you can see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, Benny had a really good idea to get a bunch of room runners in the same room together and have comics throw questions at us. So when she gets back to normal, we'll have you over at the studio and smoke and answer questions.
Yeah, all right. There'll be 1,000. When can I have a gig questions?
No.
Actually,
we curb the questions in the sense of we'll get them all. I was saying to Geordie, I want to do a live stream, so getting yourself, Kieran, fucking whoever's running a room, and get everybody to sort of sit in the same room. We'll fire off a few questions. We'll get a few people sort of sending questions in on a live feed, and we can ask questions. So we'll set the rules up in the sense of no fucking Paulie, when you're back, can I get, spot number 2 sort of thing. It's like, no, none of that shit. It's just literally.
I've got a few of their messages already.
Oh, fuck.
But that'll be all right.
You would have got hit. You would have got hit hard when you put that Facebook thing up on for the 1st of July.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit, but that's what I was expecting. And it was also another thing too. I wanted to give people some sort of feeling that there's something on the horizon, that something's coming up, something they can look forward to. I mean, if it's good enough for the AFL and the NRL to name dates, and I thought, fuck them, I'm going to name a date as well, and we'll just work towards that date as best we can.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely be there. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, good on you.
I miss that place. I need that pulled pork. Chip thing they do.
I just need to get out of the house in the evenings.
Don't say that too loud.
No. Well, I thought they supported my comedy. I thought they were happy with my comedy. I thought they liked me doing comedy because I enjoyed it. But no, it's because I'm not fucking here when I'm doing comedy, and that's what they enjoy. Fuck.
Yeah. It's part of it's part of a happy marriage, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now I've got a burning question about. I've got a burning question about Guerrilla. Is the heckle pit coming back sometime?
Yes. Yes, we'll do another heckle pit for sure. We'll do another heckle pit for sure. I was going to do a couple during the festival, so I thought that'd be a great time to do it. Let everyone just let their hair down. It'd be like almost like a bear pit sort of thing, you know. But yeah, once we get running again and we get a crowd that's happy to be there and fairly regularly, then we'll run another pit for sure.
Explain the pit for people that don't know what the pit is, like as in what?
Well, and call it the heckle pit, but it's more of a banter pit, to be perfectly honest with you. There's not a lot of straight heckling, like you suck and fucking that was terrible and rah rah rah. It's more a case as the comedians telling us jokes, the crowd are quite happy to interject, because I tell them, I says, if you're thinking it, don't say it. Yep. You know, I said, but don't be mean and cruel and spiteful about it, you know, and work on what you're looking at and what you're hearing, not what you preconceived thought before you come into the room, your prejudices and whatever that is, you know. So have some fun, say things out loud, stop the comic halfway through and ask them a question if you want to. And I said, and the comics need to have those skills in their base as well, as that they can stop halfway through a joke, explain something, get back, either start the joke again, do I forget about the joke, do I start where I finished and finish off the joke? They're decisions the comedian has to make, you know. They'll find some bits, they'll find some comebacks, they'll find some reverse banter in that banter that they may even be able to use in a future bit, but it'll also give them confidence to deal with that when it comes up in a more hostile situation, because they've been in a room where there's been banter, where there's been talk, where there's been people yelling out, breaking the concentration, all those sorts of things. And Geordie's been to a heckle pit or two. The whole feeling,
first one, I think.
Yeah, the whole feeling of the night is really inclusive. The crowd feel like they're included in the show.
Yep.
And the comedians are prepared for whatever comes at them. And if they can't handle it, then they'll learn and they'll handle it better next time. So it's not an opportunity for people to come out and just yell abuse at fucking open mic comics. It's a learning exercise as well as a bit of a fun interaction exercise as well. But there'll be no points. There won't be a Super League.
Okay.
There'll be no contest involved here.
So I can't come and abuse Geordie there when he's up there. Fuck.
What can't you do?
Abuse Geordie when he's on there.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Geordie needs to be abused. You don't realise that about Geordie. That's why he started comedy, because, you know, playing the bass, he just didn't get enough abuse.
Fuck you both. Felt like I needed an outlet, but clearly that wasn't the case. No, the heckle pit's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like that's probably up. Yeah. That's probably up there with one of my favourite gigs the second time it happened.
That was, people have said that.
Yeah, very good. When the people got out of their shell a couple acts in.
Yeah.
And started going for it. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, no, it's good fun, and that's all it is to be. Is good fun. I mean, that's what comedy's all about: having fun. You know, you got to have fun.
Yeah. Do people just do their normal? Something else. Do people do their normal set, or is it more like sort of off the cuff? Or
well, they try, Benny. They try, but very rarely they get anywhere near getting through their set. You know, because the crowd are onto them usually straight away. Usually, you watch that on your fucking head, you dickhead, before they've even said anything. You know, so it's and I talk to me, and like Dan went down there once and said, "Oh, just yell at me." So they all yelled at him, and he yelled back at them. He actually didn't do a minute of comedy the whole time, sort of thing. But that wasn't the reason. I wasn't unhappy with him, but I said to him, I said, "You've got to try and do your material. That's what it's all about. It's trying to get through your material in difficult circumstances. You know, it's like that three-pronged thing before. You get interrupted, you're halfway through a joke, or a third or three-quarters of the way through a joke, and somebody interrupts you by saying something, or maybe glasses got dropped, or fucking who would know what happened. You need to make a decision right there and then. Do I continue this joke? Do I forget about it and move to my next joke? Did it have enough momentum, or do I start again? Have I not far enough in to start again? And then they're split-second decisions that comedians are making all the time in those situations, you know. And so this is an opportunity to learn how to make those decisions under pressure.
Yeah, it's very good learning.
Yeah, a lot of the time it's better to leave the joke completely and just move to your next one. If they've been totally distracted, the audience, they're not remembering what you've just said. And so if you continue on, you know, they're not going to get it. And if you start again, you might not get it yourself because you might think, oh, fuck, I've already done this, I'll start again. And it doesn't feel right to you. So you're better off just going, all right, and my next bit is, not to say that, my next bit is, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Go to your next bit.
Oh, that's good. No, I can't wait for that to come back. That's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, it will be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Need to get the meanest of the mean up there. Quick-witted.
Well, quick-witted
kind of thing.
That's what it's all about. Working on your wits, working on your response, working on your ability to react instantly, you know, and be funny and stay friendly and keep the crowd on your side. You know, you never want the crowd to go to the heckler's side. If the crowd go to the heckler's side, you're lost.
Yeah.
So you have to get the crowd to your side straight away. So that they're all little skills that can be worked on in that environment, as opposed to you get the good gig and all of a sudden somebody's yelling something else. Oh, fuck, I don't know what to do. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be there.
No, I highly suggest anyone getting down to the heckle pit when it comes on. That'd be brilliant.
Good.
I want to see Benny get up there. I want to see you get up there, Paul. That'd be good.
Oh, yeah, I could probably do it. See how we go. I could have, the only thing about me is I'm a bit worried that I'll say something back that's a bit rough, because my usual off-the-cuff reactions are usually not well thought out. And
that's part of learning, Paul.
Exactly. But I run the room. I don't want to say something that people are going to go, oh, fuck that guy, whatever. But no, I'll do it. I'll jump up. Actually, I'm going to host. I'll be hosting all the shows when Guerrilla starts. There'll be no MCs booked. It'll be me. I'll be doing all the hosting of every show. So I'll be hosting heckle bits as well. So the opportunity will come to host a heckle at that point. And you know me, Geordie. I love to heckle. I'm fucking
you do.
king heckler.
Yeah, you do. It comes at interesting times.
It does. It does.
Yeah, especially after you told me you actually hadn't been heckled on stage before and you decided to heckle me 10 minutes later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're an asshole. Yeah, it was entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed it.
So what's your take on like somebody being on stage, getting heckled, and they're not realizing they're not going anywhere, and they're sort of sitting there going, well, I'll just keep going. Without actually realizing this is fucked, I need to get off.
You'd hope they'd realise that. Well, that's going to happen. It's a tough one. That's part of the learning process. I mean, not everyone has the ability to bail when it's going bad, because that's what you're saying. They're bombing, fucking doing something. Yeah, you fucking shit, fuck off, that sort of thing, you know. And they just continue to push on. It's because they haven't learned that sometimes you just have to walk away. Sometimes you have to go, all right, that'll do me tonight, folks. I'm out of here. Get off.
Yeah.
You know, and that's part of your learning process, and that's part of your self-awareness as well. It's part of you knowing, all right, this isn't working out. I've got nothing that these people like. They don't like me. I'm out of here. And then work on that for the next time. Why did that happen? What do I need to do to make sure that doesn't happen again? Me personally, as a room runner, here and there, I feel sorry for the comedian more than anything. I sort of, the other hand, wishes they'd done better so the crowd was happier, but then the crowd didn't pay to get in anyway, so they can get fucked. Who cares? But no, they don't. I want them to laugh. I want them to laugh. I want them to have some fun. There's no doubt I want them to have some fun. But I can't control the comedians, you know. If they're going to bomb in 2 minutes and stay on for 7 minutes regardless, then I'm probably not real keen to book them again at a later date. But
yeah, it's on them.
You know, something you need to learn something you need to learn pretty quick when you're doing comedy. If it's not working, get out.
Yep.
And the other one too is if it does work, like Andrew Roberts has got a good method. He gets them laughing like shit. They're all over the top. They're going off, and he just walks off, leave them wanting more. So the next time you see her, you know, they're, oh, fuck this bloke, he was great last time. I wish he'd stayed on longer, you know. Yeah. Always, the crowd was, I wish they'd stayed on longer than he stayed on a little bit too long. The first option is always going to be the best option, you know. And as a comedian, if you've got close to your 4.5 or your 5 minutes or whatever it is, and you've got a big laugh, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you've got close enough. Don't push it for that other big laugh to come, because a lot of the time it just won't come. So
sticky feet. Stay away from sticky feet.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
So what's on for the rest of your downtime before things get back to normal?
It's just working. Yeah, it's just working and sleeping, doing a lot of sleeping, because I never used to sleep. So I was doing comedy and working, so I didn't used to sleep. So I'm sleeping now, which is not so bad. It's quite nice, actually. I like it. But
there's a new hobby.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just taking care of myself. Just keep going to work. Just be in a position for when it's ready to go, then I'm ready to go with it.
Absolutely.
You know, take care of the family. It's a granddaughter's birthday on Wednesday. She was 4. Sent me a message. It was pretty nice.
Oh, cool.
So life goes on for all of us.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And my 2 big loves in this world of comedy and sport. And I don't have either of them at the moment, but I'm not on my own, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah. You forgot you had a family, yeah?
Sorry?
You forgot you had a family.
No, that keeps him away from the family, mate.
Yeah.
God, you millennials haven't worked this shit out.
Not at all. I've got no idea.
No idea.
I got 3 cats, mate. My hands are full. Don't worry about it.
I've got 4 of the fucking things. They're probably at the door. No, they're not at the door.
Very good.
Yes. Now life goes on. You know, hopefully this will all get better and we can get back to, some semblance of a normal life. Life will never be the same again. It's obvious.
Yeah.
You know, but we'll certainly make the best of it. That's what we humans do. We adapt, we move, we change and we progress. That's the way the world works. This is just another opportunity to progress and change.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Wise words, old Paul.
Oh, you can't.
Stop with the old joke. I'm sorry.
I'll call him a cunt for you. Don't worry.
I don't think that's in Paul's vocabulary. No, you guys started it with he's a fucking millennial.
Do you know the definition of wisdom, Geordie?
I think I saw it on one of those posters in an office once, but your version's probably going to be much different.
If someone disagrees with you, you think this is an opportunity to learn something new.
No, it's along the same line. I was expecting some pun at my expense then, but no, that's very wise.
No, someone that says, I don't think you're right, you don't go, oh, you're a fucking dickhead because you don't agree with me. You sit back and think, oh, okay, I might learn something new here. And the opportunity might be that you can impart something new to that person that they didn't know, and therefore you both gained wisdom and moved forward.
I feel more wise after this chat.
Man.
So what have you learned now, Geordie?
To never dismiss another opinion. Never. Always investigate it. Always think about it. Always think, why did that person say that? Why do they think that? And when you get to the end of that process, you might think they're still a dickhead, but you might have learned something in the meantime.
Oh, God.
Very good.
Very good. Thank you very much for being on tonight. Much appreciated.
Thanks for having me, guys. Really enjoyed it.
Have you got any socials you want to flog while you're here?
What's the social?
Keep in touch with Paul through Guerrilla Comedy and Facebook and Instagram.
I'm on Twitter, and I've got Gorillas on Twitter as well. Guerrilla Comedy's on Twitter, and PJ Sharpie's on Twitter, and PJ Sharpie's on Instagram as well. Not that I do a lot there. I just use that to promote Guerrilla. Yeah. And I've got a comedy page on the Facebooks, and got a little bit on YouTube. Most of it's crap, but fucking hell, it's just a little bit.
I say that. Fucking Sell yourself. Talk it up. Go check him
I'm not
out.
that happy with it. I really
okay.
want to get some good shit to put on there to replace what I've already got on there. I got like my first Comics Lounge gig when I was only doing comedy for 3 months, which isn't too bad, to be honest, given I'd only been in comedy for 3 months. And another gig I did at Torquay where it was really late on a Friday night and I was a bit tired, but it went okay. And just a couple of other stupid shit that I did before I even started doing comedy when I thought I could be a video comedian. And I thought, well, there's no satisfaction in that. Absolutely none.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You need that back and forth with the crowd.
Yeah, fucking nice.
Oh, once she gets back to normal, we'll get in headlining Death or Glory one night and you can film that.
Yeah, cool.
I
had fun last time I did that. I came out with some jokes, just pulled them out of my ass, and they worked really good. So I was happy.
That was very fun.
There, but yeah, no, that's for sure. We'll do that again.
Yeah, it's a fuck night, that one. I'll make it up to you.
Yeah, what can you do? I run a room. I know exactly how it is.
I'm not going to pay people to come because I can't afford it. So
no. Nobody gets paid, man. No one gets paid. All right. It's the first rule of comedy, man. No one gets paid.
Communism comedy. Very good.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure, Paul. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you July 1.